All right, we're in the Brew studio, and we're getting ready for Strikeforce at the Rose Garden. This is Rockhold versus Kennedy, and man, it's going to be a big fight. I have guests in the studio, Luke Rockhold, and I have Scott Coker, right?
Yes,
right on.
correct.
Okay, just want to make sure I didn't say that wrong. And Strikeforce, this is how recent has Strikeforce been in Portland? Has it ever before?
Yeah, we were here 2 years ago
Uh-huh.
at the Rose Garden, and that was more of a challenger show, like an upcoming fighters, but this is for the big show.
Right.
Saturday night is going to be Championship Strikeforce on Showtime, and it's going to be live here on the 14th.
And two title fights too that we're pretty excited about. Of course, the middleweight fight with you, Luke Rockhold. I was just watching the Jakara fight again the other day.
Oh yeah,
and that was a battle. I mean, that it looked like he had you a little bit in the first couple of rounds there. It ended up going the distance. Now, what do you think that this fight's going to look like here? You've defended the title since then. I just want to put that out there as well.
I expect it to be probably similar to the Jacare fight. Kennedy's a well-rounded fighter. He brings it on all levels, and so I got to be prepared for that 5-round war, but God knows I don't want that 5-round war.
Right?
I'm going to go in there and I'm going to put on an exciting fight and try to finish this thing quick.
Is there any point where you're worried about maybe the special forces stuff kicking in, him forgetting about one training from the other and snapping your neck?
Yeah. I know that Jew Kwon Do or whatever. You know what I mean? Try to bend a finger back. Good thing you got to get 3 fingers at a time at least, right? so I'm prepared for everything. He's tough everywhere. So I gotta be. It's mixed martial arts. He's quit the army stuff, and he's in the gym with one of the best camps in the world. And I'll be ready. I'll be ready to go for it. But 5 rounds, that's rough. I've only done that once in my career. Everything else has been the first round, so I'm going to get back to my old ways.
Hope for the first round, yeah.
I like my first rounds. Why work a full day and work a half day, Right? I promise a very exciting first round.
That's what we're looking for.
But it'll be good no matter what.
Scott, so what's Strikeforce up to these days? I mean, you got the Showtime deal. I mean, things are growing, with every bout that you put together, every fight you put together. How's the future looking for Strikeforce?
Yeah, it's looking really good. I mean, we were purchased a year ago by Zuffa. And, they all decided we're going to run it as an independent league. Mm-hmm. And we're traveling across the country doing these fights. And, the Portland's the start on the 14th of July. Mm-hmm. But we have great fighters. We've been getting great ratings on Showtime. And so we're going to continue doing great fights.
Is it now, do you find Strikeforce being kind of a feeder league for some of the other MMA leagues? Or is this really you're trying to develop and keep a lot of the fighters?
I mean, here's the thing. If you look at like the tournament that we threw last year, I mean, we had 8 of the top 10 heavyweights in the world fighting in Strikeforce. And I think that we have top middleweights, we have top welterweights. So we have top-rated fighters all across the board. And, Zuffa is just deciding to run it as an independent league. And so it's not really a feeder league. I think we have fighters that can stand up and fight anybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the Dean of Mean, Keith Jargine, everybody knows him, and there's some really good fights on this bill.
He's going to fight Hodger Gracie, who is probably arguably one of the best jiu-jitsu fighters in the world.
The best, for sure. The best of all time. He's amazing.
Robbie Lawler's going to fight Lorenz Larkin. Mm-hmm. And then we have a local here from Matt Lindland's gym, and it's Pat Healy, and he's going to fight Japanese fighter Hiroko, or Horato. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So it's going to be, it's going to be a top to bottom, just an amazing fight card. It's going to be 4 fights that we're going to air on Showtime Extreme, and then the top 4 fights will be on the Championship Showtime series.
So, what is the most random thought, Luke Rockhold, that has ever come into your mind in the middle of a fight? I mean, you try and keep your focus, try and keep your concentration. Is there any time during a fight when you break concentration, you're just like, why am I thinking about this right now?
I really try to keep my focus, but I can't really recall anything. I'm so in the zone when I'm in there.
Yeah.
Everything happens fast for me. Usually in the first round. I had like that one time I got out of the first round with Jacare going into the 4th round. I was like, damn, is this really happening right now?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I've only been in the first round my whole career, and I was getting to those championship rounds, and you see a street fight on the street. It's like a long fight is like, what, 30 seconds?
Right.
All right, this is 25 minutes of just straight war, and so it was going into the 20-minute round is just a whole nother world, and couldn't believe it was happening, but I'm good back.
Is there anything about your preparation for a fight that's different from most other fighters?
I train hard. We train hard at AK. We spar like not a lot of camps do. We go in there, we try to kill each other. I got to spar with Cain Velasquez and Cormier, some of the top heavyweights in the world, so I can get knocked out at any time, and that's a big factor in our training because I think it prepares you. It shakes off what rust there might be, and it prepares you for the worst. It gets the butterflies every time you get in there. So when you get the actual fight, it's like an everyday thing. It's just a sparring match for me, and that's why I focus on it.
Scott Coker, is the middleweight division the most exciting division in Strikeforce right now?
Yeah, I definitely think that we have the top three middleweights bouts fighting on this Portland card, and Luke and Tim Kennedy is no joke. And here's a guy that was special forces. He was a sniper in the military, and we tried to sign him about 2 years ago, and he actually turned down a very lucrative contract to go back into the military, protect his country. So I got to give him a lot of respect for that. Came back, we signed him to a deal, and he's a guy that had a split decision with Jacare, the fighter that Luke fought for the title.
Right.
So when you look at both these guys and their common opponents, they both had tough fights against Jacare Souza, and we're expecting this to be a war.
Yeah, so that's right. It's two guys that have actually held the belt fighting in Portland at Strikeforce this time out. Is that are you anticipating this to go 5 rounds? I mean, you're fully prepared, obviously, but do you really think?
Prepare for war, expect victory.
Yeah.
Clean and efficient. So I always do. I prepare for that war, but I don't expect it. I don't expect a war. I want to go in there and I study my opponent. I try to pick him apart, and I believe I can do that. And I gotta prepare for the worst though, because anything can happen in a fight. Everyone's got a chance, and things can go wrong at a moment's notice. So I'll be ready to go. It's going to be exciting. I'm going to be throwing all my karate kicks and everything. I'm going to be trying to take his head off. I'm going to use my length, and I like to perform. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to entertain, and it's going to be exciting no matter what.
So July 14th at the Rose Garden, Strikeforce. It's Rockhold versus Kennedy. What's the dark horse match, Scott Coker, do you think, in this card? What do you think is one that has the most potential to be more exciting than anybody expects?
Well, I think that Luke and Kennedy is going to be an exciting fight. But also look for the Robbie Lawler fight with Lorenz Larkin. That's going to be a stand-up match, and someone's going to get knocked out in that fight.
No, you're predicting that right now.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right.
No one knows Lorenz Larkin, but he brings it on all levels. He's just exciting to watch. Yeah. And with Robbie Lawler, both strikers, it's going to be the barn burner. It's going to be fun. Don't miss it.
But we can't wait for the fight. Thank you, Scott, for bringing this to Portland. Luke, we're looking forward to watching you to kick some ass. That's all it's all about, right?
It is.
Appreciate you guys coming into 105.9 The Brew, and we'll see you on July 14th.
Thank
you much.